Anyway, shall we get into the next item on the agenda? Now, I want to talk about this because I am sort of confused a little bit by this. Doctor Who Flux, the marketing campaign for Doctor Who Flux, won a Drum Award for its marketing for digital advertising, as they refer to it here. And all I want to ask is, like, why? I mean, I get it if, like, the competition wasn't, that great, but the marketing for Flux was practically non-existent. Obviously, we had Find the Doctor, which was kind of a good, idea. Let's have a mystery that fans can follow and get them invested in the brand. That was a good idea conceptually. But the thing is, there was nothing at the end of it to really sustain people's interest in it. And therefore, it kind of fell apart towards the end. So I am sort of confused as to how Doctor Who Flux has won it all. This isn't the Webley, which was the other one that it was up for. I don't know when we get the results for that, but it did win a drum. I've never actually heard of the drum. I mean, I guess, like, well done to it. Best high impact campaign. I did see there was a video they released that went over the impressions the ad campaign got, and they did. They seemed pretty impressive, so my assumption is that it's at least somewhat worked, but I do have to wonder, was it the best move, especially retrospectively, given that Flux kind of had diminishing sort of interest in comparison to series like 12. I mean, that's kind of inevitable with any like ongoing thing, like it's probably going to decline, but I think Flux especially, it didn't really bring like people back as much as you'd hope it would. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, they did have like the billboards and stuff like that, which was cool towards the end. But I don't know. For a lot of the year, it felt like Doctor Who Flux was kind of non-existent, which was kind of weird. And the idea of deleting the social media, like I get the idea, but it was kind of funny when one of their like things for one of the submissions for these marketing campaign award things was, we did a thing no other social media team has done before. We went dark and deleted all our social medias. It's like, yeah, it's kind of a reason people don't tend to do that, because, it kind of just gets rid of all the promotion for everything else you were doing. Yeah, bizarre choices. And then obviously with Flux getting closer, we had those little BBC One ident interruptions. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of get what they were going for. I just think it lacked in the execution in several areas, but maybe the other competition just really wasn't up to much when it comes to the Drum Awards. Like I said, I've never even heard of the Drum Awards. But yeah, I guess well done to Doctor Who nonetheless. It's nice for it to win an award, even if I'm a bit like, how? But yeah, and the reason I was like, how, actually, I was going to say, we had things like this recently, though, which was, how many times did the Doctor say Sea Devil in the episode Legend of the Sea Devils? Which, I just want to know what the thinking behind this marketing is. Like, does anyone find this exciting when they're like, let's count the number of times they say the name of the villain of an episode? Like, it just feels like reject CinemaSins content. I don't get what the sort of motivation behind some of the recent marketing is. And like, obviously, Doctor Who Poop did a pastiche of it where they say shit instead of ship, and that's almost got as much likes as the actual Doctor Who post itself. Yeah, some very bizarre choices. Expectation versus reality thing, and then going even further down, we had where was it? Yeah, the Doctors react to Legend of the Sea Devils, which was just like archive footage of the Doctors placed in random points in Legend of the Sea Devils, which is just really odd. I don't know what the thinking behind this was. Were they just really struggling to find things to promote about this episode that they had to resort to this? Like, I think it's very funny, actually. If I go on to hang on. Give me a second. Let me find it. If I go onto the Doctor Who YouTube channel, the like to dislike ratio on that promotional video is quite something. Yeah, you can see here, this is where... Oh, that's a Mr. TARDIS video, we don't want that. You can see here... No, I love Mr. TARDIS, but we don't need Mr. TARDIS right now. But you can see here, 1.5k likes to 2.8k dislikes. I disliked it just because I was like, this is naff. And I just, yeah... What's weird, the weird disparity though is you know, the comments seem quite positive, and then you get to the likes, and it's just overwhelmingly like kind of negative, which is interesting. Perhaps, I mean, like, people will suggest like bots and stuff, but it does seem like a weird video in specific to bot. I mean, to be fair, if we look at some of the other promotional things for this episode, they seem down even on, you know, obviously I know a lot of people say, oh, people downvote Whittaker stuff, and, you know, while I'm not going to deny that, like, you know, they seem kind of weirdly low even for Whittaker era things. You know, that one was 1.6k likes to 1.2 dislikes, 846 likes to 1.4k dislikes, which really, really weird. It's especially low even when you compare it to, like, this is why I'm saying maybe it is just people didn't like this episode, because if you look at something like the War of the Centaurans clip, you have 1.4k likes to 67 dislikes, which is naturally a lot healthier. You know, I'm not saying that this means anything, I just think it's interesting since we were already on the topic of like-to-dislike ratios, but I definitely think generally this episode was less warmly received by like the overall audience than even some of the Flux episodes were, so I don't think it's just a oh, people hate Jodie thing, because as you can see here, you know, the like-to-dislike ratio is pretty positive here, so yeah, just an interesting thing to note nonetheless. Shout out to Debs Iona, Shane Smith, Ree Keffin, Seb Lowndes, Jay Monroe, Hash Shandycoot, Patrick Mewson, Simon Ashley, Steve Safaro, Andrew Townsend, Alex Robbins, Michael Dykes, Paul Bryden, Sam Yates, Michael Rhodes, Jerry the Meerkat, Heretic, Bibliotecária Nerd, and Cameron Jefferson. If you want to become a member, feel free to do so. It really helps out. You get exclusive posts, shout outs in every video, and even your own badge and custom emojis to use.